Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional...
Please speak.
This strain of flu. It's very different from the one I saw...
Really? What?
I've just looked at the blood.
I see.
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu.
This is very interesting.
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an...
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine?
There's a lot we're not seeing here.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity.
What on earth do you...
Why you, my dear boy? With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor.
I totally agree. We're in
We'll discuss this more later.
No, thank you, Jonathan.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
What the fuck?
My sister.
She's to be buried this evening.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan.
Oh no! 參加 Mary 嘅葬禮。Oh no！ 悲劇，悲劇。
Jonathan, are you all right?
Words cannot describe the emptiness.
I'm here for you, Jonathan. If you ever...
Could I ask you...
Ask, and I...
Where...
I have a house in London, where I reside with my daughter.
A daughter? Is she...
No. Charlotte is a perfectly normal young lady. And if you...
There's so much I want to know.
Slow down, Jonathan.
Please tell me. Are...
Yes and no. I was born Elizabeth Samantha Mary Englewood. Out of pure vanity, I cannot tell you when I was born.
How do you live with it?
I can't answer that, Jonathan. But we...
Have you killed...
Jonathan, have you forgotten what I do here? I need to meet the men and women I kill.
Have you ever killed family?
I will not answer that. In time,
Oh no!
perhaps.
Tell me,
I'm lucky to be in a privileged position to help those less fortunate.
if you'll forgive me, it seems a little hypocritical healing those that...
Jonathan, we are what we are, a paradox.
And our Dr. Swansea? He's fine with this culling of patients.
Dr. Swansea is a man firmly rooted in the reality...
I'll see you later.
冇乜嘢可以問到，點樣都要係去橋嗰度。
Die, vermin!
It's one of them! Shit! You'll pay for that!
My dear sister, I don't know if I have the strength.
What the fuck? Yo.
Somebody help!
水啊你。
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know.
They've lost their minds in the epidemic.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I am Xiaoxun. Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed.
小順係
Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place?
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Oh, Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
Oh, Mary. What have I done? If I could only change one thing. One thing. This is a nightmare.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
I wish the tears would come, but I'm empty.
Let your pain run free, Jonathan. Don't smother it.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led...
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms.
How is it possible? Tell me. Is it so easy to take a life every night, and then just smile and nod at those you spared?
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our sense.
And so this is why you're here.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so...
You may be right.
Of course. I've stared upon this world for centuries.
What should I do then?
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
教堂仲玩啲咁嘅嘢。
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin. Forget your old, weaker self.
What do you want from me?
佢咪鬼？
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon?
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
乜撚嘢嚟㗎？唔係人嚟喎呢條友。
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
巴黎教堂，confess 喎要。
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child?
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold.
The church is shut by order of the bishop, but I'm...
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If...
I've made myself perfectly clear.
Your eyes burn with rage. Yet...
Very well, priest.
Open your heart, my son.
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl.
It was an accident. A terrible, terrible...
I see.
She died because of me. How do you think I feel?
I have a final question for you, my son.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What would you like her to know?
I killed you. There's no excuse.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten.
Confess.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and I. It does not concern God at all.
真，呢個真，真底係唔會理你死嘅，只可以靠自己。
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth.
What the fuck?
You. I remember you.
嗰個創造者。
Fear be gone. I would harm no child.
This is your doing. You.
I am the land. You are our child.
You.
As shall my children yet to come.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage. Brewed.
This has something to...
Seek truth, my champion.
嘢咧？
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Edgar. One Swansea.
Jonathan, my sincere condolences for your loss.
Your kindness.
Is there anything you require?
I spied my mother.
No, Jonathan.
Are we then condemned to...
We are creatures of deception, my friend. But this is more...
But what if I was close to someone?
Fear, loathing, disgust. And then they will plead to be turned. They will see it as salvation. Then there's the risk of gaining the attention of vampire hunters.
Are we condemned to attend the funerals of all?
Dying is the final act of life,
I don't know.
With time, we Ekon tend to go into isolation. If we survive long.
As a practitioner of the medical sciences, I'm prepared for the death of loved ones. But mourning in the shadows, deprived of sharing one's grief.
We are no longer a part of the circle of life and death.
Goodbye, my lady.
匯報
God protect us.
What the fuck?
You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile.
呢個咪嗰啲 vampire
You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened? We cannot have the people...
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse.
Very well.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed...
You need to know you can trust me.
I do, dear.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean?
Well, they are not far wrong. The hospital is almost crawling with vampires.
McCallum is a fanatic. The guard will...
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here...
終結佢嘅暴行，咪收咗個血圖，就揭露埋呢度其實有吸血鬼。不是什麼好東西咁啊！我同佢講下嘢先。
If you don't...
I'd be delighted.
I just recently met the strangest creature in Whitechapel.
Perhaps it was a skull.
It was a vampire, all right. But what kind?
If you find anything more about this creature, the brother...
He was observing me with the
You need to be careful, Jonathan.
即係乜嘢？
What exactly happened?
Hampton turned. Quite...
Are you sure?
There was blood everywhere. But
How did the Guard of Prewen...
McCallum has spies everywhere.
I recently tried to enter a church.
The Brotherhood's research on the matter of faith...
Is this...
The wrath of the Almighty?
It's hard to...
I'm sure Lady Ashbury will have...
Who was that?
Geoffrey McCallum, actual leader of the Guard of Prewen.
They know I'm...
I can guarantee one thing.
What do they hope?
Their ultimate goal is the eradication of all vampires in the...
Thank you.
好似什麼好東西嘅啫。
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my art.
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm...
Jonathan!
Forgive me if I feel despondent.
I'm always here.
Have you embraced this woman?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life. Unless they asked.
Is there sufficient vitality?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every...
Temptation surrounds us.
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain my...
I have experienced a certain difficulty.
Now that's quite a question.
Is this a sign?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But...
Aren't you?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compared...
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
Ascalon 到底係咩嚟㗎？
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
哦，原來係
Thank you, my lady.
吸血鬼 Ascalon。